Hello and welcome to more Pokemon Stadium! We're back at the title screen because if you take a look, it looks completely different than it did last time, or at the start of the series. That is because now that we're on round 2, we get a new title screen for some reason. But here at the top right, we can actually press the right C button to switch between round 2 and round 1. Round 2 again is essentially just a hard mode for the game, and we get to see everything at night! Ooh! But for this playthrough, guys, I'm not going to be doing everything in round 2 because it's mostly just the exact same stuff, but slightly more souped up. I'm just going to be doing the Prime Cup round 2 using my Pokemon Yellow team. But there's one really cool thing about round 2, which I'm not going to actually be using, but you could if you want, which is if you do go to the rental Pokemon, one extra rental Pokemon opens up way at the bottom. So if you really wanted to, you could bring along for your team a Mew. And I guess he has Psychic, Flash, Mega Punch, and Metronome. Stats are 225 in everything. So there you go. If you really wanted to, you could choose Mew. However, I'm of course going to be using all of my Pokemon Yellow team, and there's one caveat to how I'm going to do this, because if we do this a certain way, there's actually an Easter egg we get. So, it's going to be a challenge. Beating this on its own, difficult enough. Beating this with the extra bit of thing we have to do, or the extra rule we have to do, that's where it gets challenging. However, the Poke Cup, or the Pokeballs section of the tournament, it's going to be easy no matter what, so not a big deal. But we do have to bring Thor for every battle. If we do that, we will get something special in Pokemon Yellow. So there you go. So I'm going to bring, I guess I'll start off with Vulcan. I'll also bring Thor and Triforce. Seems like a decent team for this battle.
It's finally underway. Pokemon Tournament Prime Cup Pokeball. Who will win it all in this wide-open, unlimited level?
Alright, so we're going to start off with the Charmander here. But of course, guys, as you can probably tell, the first couple episodes of this round 2 stuff, it's going to be really easy. Once we get up to the Ultra Ball and Master Ball, that is where things are going to get back to being a challenge. So just bear with me for a couple days as we get through this. But I think it's worth showing everything, just for completeness sake. And who knows, maybe there will be some challenge along the way, considering we do have to have Pikachu for everything. So we'll just wait and see. In some cases where they have a bunch of ground Pokemon or something like that, it might almost be as if we're just using 2 Pokemon on our team, you know, because some cases Thor might be completely useless. So that's where things get challenging. If there's a battle where Thor is going to be awesome for, it's not a big deal because Thor's not that bad. How did he not die? Holy crud. He's going to go with Flamethrower here. Thankfully not another Fire Spin. But anyways, as I was saying, if there's a battle where Thor's going to be useful, then hey, that's awesome. But the problem is when there's going to be battles where Thor is a wasted spot. There's nothing good on the enemy team that Thor is good against. In those cases, Thor is just like a dead spot, and we have 2 versus 3 pretty much. But anyways, we got their Charmander finally defeated. Please send out something that's not Fire type. I was planning on you bringing one of those Bug types or something. No, of course, they have Growlithe. Great. So I'm going to have to sit here and Body Slam this one as well. Hopefully he doesn't have a Fire Spin. It's not going to be a challenge, it's just a waste of time, because if he sent out pretty much anything else, I could have just used my Flamethrower. Looks like he is going to go down for a dig, so this is actually a good chance, because I did want to switch over to my Triforce anyways, simply because he'll hit a lot harder on these guys. And by doing that, I can avoid the dig as well, so that's good. It might have been worthwhile to just use Flamethrower on Ninetales, even though they are Fire type and they would have resisted that. The thing is, I will get same type attack bonus, and more importantly, my special stat on Ninetales is so much higher than my attack stat that it still might have done more damage. But anyways, Drill Peck is probably just going to kill this guy straight up. Let's see if it does. Not quite, but it did quite a big chunk of damage. And he's fully paralyzed, so let's go ahead and let's do Tri-Attack just for the swag, just to see it looking cool. Really cool animation in my opinion. Boom! Alright, 1 Pokemon left. I don't recall if they had a 3rd Fire type. Hopefully they'll just send out a bug that I can just Drill Peck real quick.
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
And what do you got, bruh? We have a Caterpie! Alright, so this will go down really easily. That is no problem at all. I just noticed when Caterpie raised his chin, he had a big black void underneath his neck. But anyways, get wrecked, Caterpie! And that first battle was very, very easy. I'm pretty sure all of the Poke Cup, I keep calling it the Poke Cup, I mean the Pokeball section of the Prime Cup tournament. I'm pretty sure that's all going to be pretty easy. I mean, even in round 1, using rental Pokemon, the Pokeball Cup was easy, so yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and go to the second battle. I'm going to go to my old format of doing 4 battles per video, so we'll have 3 more today. Looks like a bunch of easy battles again. I'm going to start things off with, let's go with Patrick, Matilda, and of course we do have to bring Thor, so let's go with that.
What kind of battle can we expect to see? Begin round 2.
And they're going to start things off with Nidoran, who is part poison, so I'm going to go with a Psychic, and that is going to one-shot him. Just straight up. Like, there is no way a Nidoran's going to live through through Starmie's Psychic here. If it does, I will be amazed. No, no way. So he is defeated. 2 Pokemon to go. I don't think there was anything on his team that would really cause Patrick trouble. I think that Patrick will probably sweep this. So I guess we'll get those extra continues. This is assuming that round 2 has continues. I think it does, but did I get a continue for the last battle? So I definitely swept that last battle, but I don't know. I'm just going to go with a Surf here. And that'll probably take out a Rattata. Rattata's not very high in the special stats, so he'll get hit by this pretty hard. And we got a critical too. Alright. Well, this is going to be a short episode, isn't it? I'm just going to like sweep through 4 battles real quick. Alright, last Pokemon up. My last victim. Oh, it's Machop. Okay, so I'll just go with the Psychic attack here. Now, here's the thing. I might completely mess this up because I'm not sure if you have to use Pikachu for... Okay, there's a couple things. One, I'm not sure if you have to use Pikachu on your team or if it actually has to show up in the battle at some point. And 2, I'm not sure if you have to use him for the Pokeball and everything. You might only have to use him for the Master Ball. I'm not sure on that. So if you guys want to fill me in, I could potentially not use Pikachu during the next like 5 or 6 episodes while I wait to get to Master Ball. But just for the sake of caution, I'm using Pikachu for this early stuff. Not that it really matters, and there you go, there are continues, so I just kind of missed that last time. But yeah, just for the sake of caution, I think it's worth doing because there's no real challenge that would be... Yeah, there's no real negative to having Pikachu at this point, because everything's so easy anyways. But here I'm going to bring Triforce, Patrick, and Thor, of course. So I think that'll be fine. I know that Triforce will deal with a lot of those Psychic types really easily, and if he sends out one of the Rock or Fire types, I'll just send out Patrick. He's going to start off with Drowsy, so I think Drill Peck will deal with this pretty well. I could do Tri-Attack as well. It does not really matter. I think they both have the same base attack, and they're both same type attack bonus, so no real significant difference there. But I do get a critical, and that is Drowsy down already. Let's see if Triforce can sweep this team here. The only thing that might cause a challenge for a Triforce sweeping is if he sends out a Geodude. If he sends that out, I could still try to kill it, but it probably wouldn't be a good idea. Alright, so he's going to send out Clefairy, another Pokemon I think Triforce will be excellent at dealing with. So I'm just going to keep going with Drill Peck. The battle is not still up in the air, announcer guy. This battle is decided already. Alright, so I did not quite do enough to kill him there. Okay, so Reflect will boost him against physical attacks, so it looks like I will have to do 2 more of these. Maybe 3, but I don't think Reflect will boost him that much. Unless I just get a critical! Alright! I am getting so many lucky criticals, in like the past several Pokemon Stadium episodes, my criticals have just been outrageously good. So we have 1 Pokemon left, and it is a... Oh, Abra, okay, that'll be very easy to take down. And his nickname gives him a very odd color. I guess not as odd as my Dodrio. My nickname gives me a puke green color, so I can't really complain about other people's colors. There we go. 1 Drill Peck will take him down. The 3rd battle is already defeated. We had 1 sweep by Patrick, 1 sweep by Triforce. Did I swap during the first battle? I can't remember. I think the first battle might have been a sweep as well. But anyways, let's go on to the 4th and final battle of the day. Yeah, I guess the next few videos are probably going to be pretty short. I think that the Poke Cup or Pokeball and the Great Ball are both going to be pretty easy. Ultra Ball might be a challenge. Master Ball almost certainly going to be a good challenge. So here he's going to have a bunch of stuff weak to Psychic as well as a couple things weak to Electric. So that is perfect for Patrick. I guess I'll also bring along, let's say, Matilda and Thor.
The crowd's excitement is building. This is round 4.
Alright, he's going to start things off with Ekans. I'm pretty sure everything on his team I can just one-shot with Patrick. So this is probably going to be another Patrick sweep. You know what? You guys should keep a running count of who KOs what Pokemon. Like, keep a KO count. How many Pokemon does Patrick KO? How many Pokemon does Triforce KO? And so on. I think that throughout this playthrough, Patrick is probably going to KO the most. But it would be pretty interesting to keep track of that and just to see for sure, you know? He's going to send out a Goldeen. I'll just go with my Thunderbolt then. Wow, that is like actually a Goldeen. The top of his head is gold. Oh my goodness. I just hit Surf. I am so bad at video games, guys. Let's see how much damage his Surf does. He even Surf did an okay chunk. He's going to go with Waterfall. I think that move is exclusive to Goldeen and Seeking. But whoops-a-daisy. I'm just going to go with the Thunderbolt now. Ignore that round right there. Pretend that never happened. And this should take him down. Even if it wouldn't, if I didn't get that Surf, I'm pretty sure Thunderbolt still would have one-shot there. Goldeen, not the strongest Pokemon. Honestly, I've considered trying to use a Seeking in my team, but it's just so weak. It doesn't have very good stats. It doesn't have very good moves. Honestly, it's just kind of a lackluster Pokemon. I would love to see Mega Seeking in a future game, though. That would be awesome. But alright, just going to go with the Psychic here, and I think that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. So, Team 4, or Battle 4, is defeated right here. Mid-round female is down. Good job, Patrick. Alright, guys. Well, that was a very, very unexciting start to this round 2. But I promise things will get more difficult as we go along. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time where we'll tackle the second half of this crud. Take care.